Hey guys, welcome to the Hoan Zone, where we help you multiply the assets that you own. Are you tired of spending thousands of dollars on marketing? Whether you're paying for mailers or pay-per-click or skip tracing, text blasts, bandit signs, whatever it is, people spend tons and tons and tons of money on marketing. Well, I'm going to go over marketing strategies that don't cost you any money whatsoever. But before we get into that, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, because I will be releasing a new video every Monday and Wednesday on the Hoan Zone that helps you build your business from your phone. All right, guys, let's get into the video. Believe it or not, of the millions of dollars of real estate that I've purchased, I didn't spend any money on marketing. I just couldn't put the money out there, not knowing that the return would be there, right? I know a lot of people who spend a lot of money and they get a bunch of properties, but that's just not how I wanted to build my business. Now, does that mean I'm not going to pay for marketing in the future? Absolutely not. I might change my tune. I might say, hey, you know what? Let me spend more money on marketing so that I can get more properties. But as of today, I haven't spent any money on any of the marketing to get any of the properties that I own. So you don't necessarily have to spend marketing and create a business like everybody else. Now, did that possibly hinder how many properties that I bought? Sure, possibly. But did I create the business the way I wanted to create it? Absolutely. And that's the beauty of real estate. You get to build the business however it is that you see fit. And if it doesn't work for you, then pivot, and it's okay. You're gonna do things, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna learn from them, and you're gonna keep going. So again, currently, of all of the properties that I bought, I didn't spend any money on marketing, and that's just how I wanted to do it. But if you're interested in creating a business similar to mine and not spend any money either, let's talk about the strategies. And if you stick around to the very end, I'm gonna go over my favorite strategy for acquiring more properties that really seems counterintuitive. All right, so let's begin. The first strategy that I want you guys to consider is social media marketing. I want you guys to not be undercover real estate investors. This is what I tell all of my students. Don't be undercover. Let people know what it is that you do. Constantly tell them what it is that you do. Tell them that you want to buy properties. Tell them that you're looking for properties. Tell them that you're an active investor. Just keep putting it out there. You think that you're saying it too much, when in reality, it takes a lot of time and it takes a person a lot of stimulation before they actually see what you're writing. You might write it one way and it doesn't seem to be working. Write that same message in a different way. They're going to read it differently. Their brain's going to process it differently. And when that happens, all of a sudden they remember that you're looking to buy properties. So don't be an undercover investor, and don't feel like you're spamming people. Don't feel like you're saying it too often. Eventually, they will remember you for that message that, hey, I'm looking to buy properties. Do you know anybody who's selling a property? All of that social media posting is great, but I don't want you to just create. I also want you to document. I want you to document your journey, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're going to go see a property, document it. If you're learning something, document it. If you make a mistake, document it and let people know what it is that you're doing. So it kind of ties in with not being an undercover real estate investor by documenting everything and posting it for the world to see. Eventually, you will be known as that real estate guy or girl. So document everything, keep on posting. Don't be an undercover real estate investor. The next free way to find more properties is by using the MLS. That is probably stupid obvious, right? But using the MLS, the multiple listing service, that's where all of the properties that are listed for sale are posted. So they're there for you to buy. So go there and look for things like mislabeled properties. So if you are a master of a neighborhood, you might see a property that you know is listed incorrectly, like whether they counted the bedrooms wrong, or you know that you can fit a half bathroom or a full bathroom in something. Then find those little gems, find the properties that are mislabeled, and that's where the value is. Your job as a real estate investor is to seek out all of this equity. You're like an equity hunter. You're going to look around and you're going to find a property that's mislabeled, undervalued, and you're going to buy that one. So that's an easy way to get properties. Another one that requires a little bit more work is if you decide to put an offer in, you got to be positioned so that you have a strong offer. And what I mean by that, well, come in all cash. How do you come in all cash? Well, you needed to have set up your position beforehand to come in all cash. Now, that cash doesn't need to be your cash. You just have to be able to make that offer and show proof that you have that cash available. Now, that cash can come in the forms of a line of credit, a credit card, a private money lender, a partner, all of that kind of stuff, right? As long as there's no contingency upon you getting a loan, then that cash offer is a cash offer. But again, you just have to do a little work behind the scenes and build yourself up to that point where you can make these cash offers. Now, when you make the cash offer, what you're going to do after that is either you're going to sell the property or refinance. So don't worry about being in that cash position. You're going to get your money back. So make the offer, strong offer. You want to think, what's in it for them? Why should they go with your offer? Well, because it's going to be the easiest close that they've ever done. And I've actually used that line before in the past when I'm talking to an agent and I'm putting the offer in. I say, guys, just sell me the property. This is going to be the easiest close you ever did. I'm all cash. I'm buying it as is. I'm going to do the rehab. I'm going to do the repairs, right? I'm not going to get an inspection. Just give me the property. So I make the offer just so crystal clear and so strong that it's hard to ignore. So there might be other people who have higher bids, but I'll get the property because it's such a strong offer. There was a property where it hit the market and I called the agent right away and I said, I'm going to put in an offer. They said, fine. And then it turns out they went with a different offer. They called me back 2 weeks later because that person's offer fell through because they went with financing and the financing pulled out for whatever reason. And I said, like I said, I'm all cash. So let's do this time. Okay. And they said, okay, fine, let's do it. And so they accepted my offer, all cash, closed quick, and I lived up to my word. But again, it's because I'm in that position because of all the work that I did beforehand. Now, once you actually buy that property, now that you have that property, you can talk to other agents in the area and you can see who the strong agents are. Look for an agent who owns an area. They have all of the listings. They did all of the transactions, and call them and say, hey, I have a property in this area. It looks like you're the dominant agent in this area. I am a real buyer. I just bought this last week and I would love to be working with you. So if you get something that might be a little hard to move, let me know. And so what you're doing is you're talking to them based on what's in it for them. All too often people forget all about the other person they're dealing with. They're not thinking what's in it for them. They're only thinking, hey, send me deals, okay? Send me all your good deals and I will buy them. They're gonna get both sides of the transaction. They're gonna get the listing and the buyer side. So they're happy. They're getting double commission and you're getting first dibs at the property, and maybe nobody else even gets a chance. Now, that may not be the most ethical thing to do for the seller, but the agent can have a conversation with the seller and say, hey, I see that you're looking to sell this property. I already know of a buyer. If you want to make this quick, let me shoot it to the buyer and let's get this thing closed. A lot of times sellers are looking to agents for a recommendation or just to solve their problem. Well, I'm here to solve all your problems. So have that agent talk to the seller, and if you're in the agent's good graces because they really want to work with you, then fantastic. You just made your life easier. And again, free marketing, right? There's no cost to this. You just have to do the legwork and make those phone calls. Now, in terms of making phone calls, let's make a couple more. I want you to call industry professionals. Who are those people? They're going to be your lawyers. And what kind of lawyers? You're going to be talking to divorce lawyers, bankruptcy lawyers, business lawyers, estate lawyers, real estate lawyers. And different people are going to have different situations. So a divorce lawyer is going to have a situation where a husband and a wife are breaking up and they're going to need to sell their assets. Or somebody's going through bankruptcy and again, they're going to need to sell their assets. And so you want to be on the speed dial of that attorney so that when that happens and an asset needs to get liquidated quickly, they're calling you. The other person that you want to consider is that real estate attorney. The real estate attorney who is representing other landlords at eviction court. Say, hey, you represent a lot of landlords that are evicting tenants. If that landlord ever just wants to sell the property and get it over with because it's a pain in the butt to do all of these evictions, let me know. I will buy that property from them. The other person that deals with landlords is the property manager. Property managers have an in-depth understanding of a landlord's portfolio, and there might be a couple of problem properties for that landlord, and you might be the person who can solve it. Sometimes landlords are cash poor. They own the property, it's rented, but it needs maintenance. There's a lot of deferred maintenance because they just don't have the cash to put into the property. The property manager can't do their job properly because the landlord doesn't have any money to fix the property up. So what's there to do? Sell the property to you, obviously, because you're going to come in with fresh capital to fix up the building. The property manager is going to be happy because now you have a building that's all fixed up. The tenant's going to be happy because the building's all fixed up, and you're going to be happy because you got a building that's all fixed up. So property managers, a really great source of leads. Again, it's all free. You just got to pick up the phone and call these people and develop that relationship. Do you currently pay for marketing? And if so, how much? I have friends who literally pay $1 million plus per year on just mailers. Now, they have a thriving business and it's fantastic. And I'm in awe of what they've created, but I'm currently not doing that. But are you doing that? What kind of marketing are you doing? What are you paying? And are you going to be incorporating any of these strategies into your current business? Love to hear about it. Put it in the comments below. Okay, so here is my final one. If you made it this far, here's your bonus, right? This is my favorite one. And this one's kind of counterintuitive. But the way that I get a lot of the properties that I have without having to spend any money on marketing is by creating other real estate investors. There are people who are brand new and would love to become an investor. So what I do is I show them how. But a lot of people go, Hoan, what are you doing? You're creating your competition. And that may be true. And I may compete with my students on properties in the future, but currently I haven't because I figured out ways every single time to work together with my students. I love helping other people become real estate investors, and I help them for free. I also charge, so I do both. But if you deliver value, don't be afraid to get paid for that value, right? Give and you shall receive, and do it in that order. I've given out a lot of free content, and so people love to pay me for content as well, and training and help so that they can become richer. So help them get rich, and then you shall get rich. Help, what's the quote? Help them get everything that they want, and you will get everything you want. I butchered the quote a little bit, but you guys get what I'm saying. So this is my favorite strategy. I help a ton of people become what I say, real estate investors. Help other people, and then you will be helped. Give and you shall receive, but in that order. Now, if you are interested in the trainings that I am offering, go to hoanzone.com. I'm always putting up new trainings. And so if you're interested in becoming an investor and learning how to become an investor quickly, then again, go to hoanzone.com and check out what's available. Well, with that, guys, we've made it to the end of the video. Thank you for sticking around for this long. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, hit that like button and that share button. Let other people know what it is that you're up to. Remember, document. Let people know what's going on. Let them know you're an investor, and don't be an undercover real estate investor. So say, hey, I just watched this video on Hoan Zone and it was fantastic. Share it, and all of a sudden you look like that person who is a real estate investor. Say it enough, everybody will believe you, and eventually you will step into your greatness. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.